Hey everybody, it's Diane O'Brien, your Headhunting Housewife. We are at session 8 of the 10-part series on becoming a headhunting housewife or a corporate home-based recruiter. And so we've come a long way in these sessions. I'm getting a little bit tired. I don't know about you. I'm just doing 10 this morning to knock these out. I'll probably need to process and improve these later, as we just discussed. However, number 8 here is going to be you've made the match. They've had the meetings. You've done the scheduling. You've asked your right questions. They like each other. You're close to getting the deal done, which gets you paid. And so basically, let's say they've made the offer, and this is all around the offer letter and invoicing. I'll probably have number 9 is going to be more than the invoicing or section of 8. But right now, let's talk about the offer because there's been a lot of work, just these clips, there's been a lot of work to get us to this point, and you don't want the deal to fall through now. And so when the offer comes through, and again, different companies handle this very differently. Sometimes internal HR people like to do all the offer handling themselves. Sometimes they look to you to help close the offer with the candidate. So in all the different experience, I guess, just to give you more of a generalization for the purpose of these clips, basically, typically the offer letter would come over to the candidates. You want to make sure for them to let you know that, obviously, all along this timeline, you should be touching base with the candidate, especially after each step of the way and then prior before the next step. And, they'll ideally they would just sign the offer and the deal's done, but often you'll get a phone call and just, figuring out, I'm trying to think some of the basic questions, if they should be asking for more money or if there's any leeway with the start date because maybe they're waiting for some commissions to close or they can't leave until a certain time. There's a lot of different things that might come up at the very end, and it can be a little scary because you work so hard, or it'll be easy to try for you maybe to want to just peruse past those concerns, like, no, it'll be fine, but don't do that because you don't have to replace the person for free in 3 months. So even though you're close and you want it badly, never sacrifice kind of the integrity of the search based upon your eagerness to get paid, I guess is probably maybe the best way to say it. So still take your time during this offer letter stage to address all concerns. If they have questions, you're still the go-between the matchmaker, then discuss those concerns with the client. And it's still good for you to be the matchmaker and for them not to be doing that one-on-one because then they can have, think about it. That's why people have often even their lawyers talk to another lawyer versus the one-on-one person because there can be hurt feelings or miscommunication. And because your goal is to get the deal done, you have a certain sensitivity, I think, when speaking and listening to the concerns of the candidate. And then when you go back and discuss that and then listen to the concerns of the client, you're able to alleviate a lot of the emotion behind it or things that could be problems that would cause the deal to fall through just by being the buffer, I guess, between them. And that's going to make this good matchmaker and make you a good headhunter or recruiter. So getting the offer, again, just don't let up. Just because you heard, yeah, you got the offer, don't start, typing up the invoice just then. That's why I kind of want to make a separate skit or separate clip to this. So make sure the offer is solid, that they're going to be signing. Make sure when they sign it that whether it used to be faxed over, more nowadays it's just emailed over with an Adobe signature. Make sure that's getting sent over. Make sure the client received it. Make sure the start date is solid. And then from there we can go into invoicing, which is a lot of fun. You feel like, oh, I'm almost there. All this time you've already spent, you haven't gotten paid yet, right? So, and even when you invoice, you have to wait 30 days if they pay on time. So that'll be a fun topic as well. So, but I think a lot of this information will be good for you housewives out there that have said, oh, maybe met someone like me that had a party and they say, oh, headhunter or recruiter, that sounds much fun, and really you might have no idea what's involved. This might be a little inkling to what's involved to getting paid because you might just later hear, oh, she made, $20,000 off that person getting signed on, or that was a, $50,000 commission, and, they placed that person so quickly. Like anything, it might be quick to what you would hear or have thought of in the past about recruiting, but these can often be months and months in the making. And for every one as a recruiter you might make and close the deal, you might have had 2 fall through. Maybe, especially when you're a contingent recruiter, if you're working 3 deals in your desk. When I was contingent, I think I used to work about 6 at a time just to be sure I closed one, and then I upped those odds as I got better. to close the majority of those, but and then making them exclusive, so I didn't have to have as much competition for reasons we'll talk about later. But just know there's so much work into closing this one deal that you want to focus again on just getting this part of the deal done, and then moving on the next step, a part of the process to do that the right way, and that'll be invoicing. So number 8, invoicing, or no, number 9, right? Number 9, invoicing. And then 10 will be about how to just do it all over again. So once we get through invoicing and all what's involved in that, then it's about going back to cookie cutting the success over and over and over, self-improving it, as well as life balance I want to touch upon, because that needs to be, make sure you're balancing this whole process within your life map and life process. So great, session 9 is to come.